1, 2,
3, 4,
5, 6, 7.
One of the most useful inventions we have ever known to this day and age is the cell phone. It opened up new possibilities for us to be able to connect and contact with anyone wherever they are. As time has progressed, so has the cell phone. From brick to thin, flip to slide, keypad to keyboard, cell phones have always been improving, especially in the last couple of years. For years, businessmen were known for their PDAs and smartphones, but that has soon changed with inventions such as the smartphone and Android phones. With this, the general consumer was able to unlock the full potential of their devices, including calling, texting, web browsing, video calling, getting directions, taking pictures, and all sorts of other things like that nature. But with such power in their hands, people have become attached to these devices. The constant use of these devices has led to their use in inappropriate places, such as meetings, meals, dates, and most importantly, the car. People have been driving and talking on the phone for several years. For a while, it wasn't a problem until newer phones came out with features such as text messaging and web browsing. Studies in the article Cell Phones Use Distract Drivers have shown that someone using their phone, whether it be for talking or texting, while driving, gives the person the same reflexes as a drunk man behind the wheel. With this evidence, it would seem like people would use common sense and not use their phones while driving, but that's where people go wrong. People are so accustomed to using their phones while driving that sometimes they might not even be subconsciously aware of it. As a result, you become unaware of your surroundings, including the road, which can lead to an auto accident. Cell phones should be banned from car use because of their enhanced abilities in auto accidents they cause. Having been driving for almost 4 years now, I can say that my cell phone is always in my pocket when I'm in the driver's seat. What I'm about to share with you has changed my opinion on the subject, and hopefully it will do the same for you all. Cell phones have been around since the early 1920s. At the time, they were referred to as car phones. This meant that they were plugged into the car for power in order to operate. The first portable phone was known as the brick phone, as pictured here. It was a phone the size of one's face, very bulky and heavy to carry around. As time has progressed, cell phones have been able to shrink in size and fit into hand-friendly devices that have also been less weight. One of the most prominent examples of this is the iPhone. Also, by this time, cell phones have become using technology also known as 4G, which has made them faster, which has let them be able to connect with faster data speeds and use features such as SMS text messaging and even web browsing in the palm of their hand. With all these new features, the phone companies have been touting that they've become easier to use, when in fact they still require a lot of attention. It is because of this that people using these phones while driving do not realize that they are potentially putting the people around them in danger. Whether it is to text someone, shoot them an email, or even just call, attention to the road would always be drawn away towards the phone, which is the likely scenario for a crash to occur. The leading problem with cell phones is the accidents they cause. When a phone rings, the person's instincts tell them to answer. Even if one reaches down for a second, an accident can happen. This is the case of Chad Reniger, a driver of the supermodel Nikki Taylor. According to an article by Tyree and Sklefko, while he was reaching down for his phone, Reniger accidentally hopped the curb and hit the pole. Nikki Taylor, his passenger, ended up receiving massive internal injuries and was soon rushed to the hospital. This is just one of many ways that a crash can result from cell phone use. Do people think it's safe to drive drunk? No, of course not. The media tells us no, as well as legislature. That's why it's outlawed. However, a recent study has shown that talking on cell phones produces the same attentiveness as a drunk driver. Even with these facts, people are still inclined to use their phones. Why? Because they've grown accustomed to it and see no harm of it affecting them. As cell phone use while driving gets more heated and more crashes result, local legislature has begun to implement laws to curb such behavior. As of today, 30 plus states have enacted bans against texting while driving, and among those states, 8 of them have also enforced a handheld ban, which makes it illegal to handle a phone in your hand while driving. This is a great start to curb cell phone use in cars. However, these laws are just stepping stones. It would take years to quote-unquote rewire people's brains to teach them not to use their phones while driving, especially when they see other people, especially their own parents, doing it constantly without regret. This is where we need to start in order to curb cell phone use in cars and driving from occurring again. No one is going to follow in the footsteps of a hypocrite, one who speaks but acts the other way. Also, most people learn things as they grow up from the example set forth by their own parents. Therefore, the most logical place is to start in the household with the parents. By setting a good legal example, kids would not feel above the law in any way when using their phone in cars. In fact, kids would not see the urge of answering their phone at all while driving. Another thing we can do is pass more effective legislation against the subject. Perhaps we change the laws against texting to include handheld bans as well among all 50 states. Hopefully, such a push against cell phones would cause people not to risk using them in fear of a ticket or fine on their driving records. Another solution to this issue is hands-free technology in cars. While it does not prevent the use of cell phones in cars, it aims to make using your phone easy and safe by keeping both hands on the wheel, just as the name suggests. Hands-free technology's foundation is built on another technology commonly known as Bluetooth. Bluetooth enables the phone to connect with the hands-free system and therefore be controlled by the system. When hands-free was first introduced, it was a premium feature among most of the luxury brand cars, but some including Lexus, Audi, BMW. But today, however, the feature has evolved and has become almost standard in all new cars sold by dealerships, even more so in economically friendly cars, making it the safer option for everyone. By using hands-free, the car connects to the phone and alerts you when a call is coming in. Instead of reaching down and picking it up and losing eye contact with the road, the system will read aloud the caller ID of the person and allow you to answer the call using conveniently placed buttons on the steering wheel. The entire process allows you to keep your hands on the wheel and, more importantly, your eyes on the road. Cell phones are one of the most innovative gadgets we have at our disposal. They offer us the ability to connect with anyone, browse the web, send emails, get directions, watch funny videos on YouTube, and much more. But all of these new features come with more fascination. People's minds today, cell phones and driving go hand in hand. Hopefully, with stern legislation and more awareness of the dangers they can cause, people will stop using them and pay more attention to the road around them. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7,